It's pretty wild to think about, but what you put on your baby's plate can actually help shape their brain development, their memory, and even how they learn. It's totally true. Science shows us that some very specific foods can give your little one the strongest possible start. So let's dive into the simple, powerful foods that can help you build a brilliant brain for your baby, starting right now. Okay, get ready for this, because this fact is staggering. By the time a child turns just 3 years old, more than 80% of the neural connections they'll have for their entire life are already in place. That's just an incredible explosion of growth. And it means these first few years are this massive window of opportunity for everything from language and memory to how they handle their emotions. So, I absolutely love this metaphor. Think of your baby's brain as a house that's being built from the ground up, right now. The quality of the nutrients you give them, those are the building materials. And the stronger the materials you use today, the more solid and resilient that house is going to be for decades to come. Now, for that huge construction project to go off without a hitch, the brain needs the right kind of fuel. We're not just talking about calories here. We're talking about specific, powerful nutrients that act as the essential building blocks for a brilliant little mind. Every single one of these nutrients has a super specialized job. For instance, omega-3s, especially DHA, are literally the bricks and mortar for the brain's physical structure. Choline is kind of like the architect, drawing up the blueprints for memory. Iron is the crucial delivery service, rushing oxygen to every part of the construction site. Zinc helps forge the pathways between brain cells, while folate and B vitamins are like the power grid for the whole operation. All right, so where do we find all this amazing stuff? Well, that's exactly what we're about to break down. Let's get into the top 10 foods that will basically turn your kitchen into a brain-building toolkit. First up, the incredible egg. Honestly, eggs are one of the most powerful and, let's be real, accessible brain foods you can give your baby. They're jam-packed with high-quality protein, healthy fats, and B vitamins. But their real superpower? It's a nutrient called choline. And what's so cool about choline is that it does more than just build brain cells. It helps create something called acetylcholine. Now, you can think of acetylcholine as a key chemical messenger that helps your baby's brain with learning, with their attention span, and their focus. All of that from one simple little egg. Next, let's talk about fatty fish. Yeah, we're talking about things like salmon, sardines, and even anchovies. These guys are loaded with a really special kind of omega-3 fat that is just absolutely essential for a developing brain. That special fat is called DHA, and it's not just in the brain, it's a primary structural component of the brain and the eyes. If we go back to our house metaphor, DHA is the high-quality lumber. It's the foundation. Getting enough is directly tied to better vision, a longer attention span, and a stronger memory. Just adding a little bit of well-cooked, boneless fish once or twice a week can make a huge difference. Number 3 on our list is the avocado. And who doesn't love avocados, right? They're delicious, they're creamy, but they're also packed with healthy monounsaturated fats. And these fats have a super important job. They protect the brain's high-speed communication network. And this shows exactly how it works. Those healthy fats help build something called the myelin sheath. Just think of it like the rubber insulation around an electrical wire. The better the insulation, the faster and more efficiently messages can zip between brain cells. It's basically like installing a fiber optic internet connection inside your baby's brain. Okay, next up is whole milk yogurt. Now, it's got great healthy fats and protein, but its real brain-boosting secret comes from something else. All those beneficial bacteria that support what scientists call the gut-brain axis. Seriously, this is a game changer. The health of your baby's gut is directly connected to how their brain functions. The probiotics in yogurt help the gut produce those neurotransmitters that regulate things like mood, sleep, and focus. And this is a big one, remember to choose the plain, unsweetened kind to get all the benefits without any of the unnecessary sugar. At number 5, we've got leafy greens like spinach and kale. Think of these as 2-for-1 brain boosters. They're packed with folate, which is vital for the nervous system, and they're also loaded with iron. Remember iron? That's our oxygen delivery truck, keeping the brain energized and ready for learning. Coming in at number 6, we have berries. Blueberries, strawberries, raspberries, you name it. They are full of antioxidants that act like tiny little bodyguards for brain cells, protecting them from stress and damage. This protection helps neurons communicate better and supports memory. Okay, let's take a quick pause here because we've covered a lot of ground, right? From proteins and fats to fruits and veggies.
This just gives us a fantastic snapshot of how it all connects. You can see how each food group delivers those critical nutrients we've been talking about. Now let's round out our list with some great carbs, nuts, and a perfect first food. For numbers 7 and 8, we're going to group sweet potatoes and whole grains like oats and quinoa together. Why? Well, because their main job is energy. Their complex carbohydrates provide this really steady, slow release of fuel to the brain, and that is absolutely essential for sustained focus and a stable mood. No sugar spikes and crashes here.
Number 9 is nuts and seeds. Walnuts, chia seeds, flax seeds, they are tiny nutritional powerhouses. Seriously, they're packed with those awesome omega-3s, zinc for helping build those brain connections, and vitamin E, which is another powerful antioxidant that protects those precious brain cells. Now, I know what you might be thinking. How in the world am I supposed to serve things like fish or nuts to a baby? And that's a great question. So let's quickly talk about how to make these amazing brain foods safe and really simple to prepare. So when you're dealing with nuts and seeds, the number one priority is, of course, avoiding any choking hazards. So always serve them either finely ground up into a powder or as a thin layer of smooth nut butter. It's super easy to just mix these right into purees, oatmeal, or yogurt. And for those leafy greens we mentioned, just steam and puree them. Easy. And finally, at number 10, we have the wonderful, humble banana. Bananas are just a perfect first food. They're soft, they're naturally sweet, but they're also rich in vitamin B6, which helps the brain produce chemicals like serotonin and dopamine. You know, the chemicals that help regulate mood, motivation, and learning. So as we start to wrap this all up, the big takeaway here is just so empowering. You have the power to build a better brain for your baby, and that power really does start right there in your own kitchen. I want you to really remember this. Your baby's intelligence, their curiosity, their emotional balance, it's not just shaped by flashcards or fancy toys. It is quite literally built cell by cell at the dinner table. Every single bite of these foods gives their brain the exact nutrients it's craving to grow strong and get ready to explore the world. So my question for you is this. After hearing about all these amazing options, what's just one new food that you're excited to add to your baby's plate this week? Taking that one small step is such a powerful way to start building a brilliant brain.